Absolutely
That's
insane.
not too bad.
So,
Just cut out
Where's the
10
box?
minutes
Where's
of me
the box?
talking and we're good.
Our box.
Oh, that's maybe behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome. So this is a live stream from Gary Con version of our Legends and Lore talk show that we have on Wednesday nights. So I am Jay, aka Lord Gazumba. It's on my channel, Twitch TV / Lord Gazumba. And with me, introduce yourselves, please, esteemed guests and co-hosts.
Yeah, I'm Anna B. Meyer, and I normally do Greyhawk maps and a bunch of other maps too, but mostly Greyhawk maps these days, thanks to all my awesome patrons who give me a little bit of donations and money every month so I can sit at home and work on heraldry and Greyhawk and stuff like that. So, and I'm Jay's co-conspirator in this.
In many things, which
Yep.
is really awesome, Anna. And like I said, you can slap me down for talking about certain projects we shouldn't be talking about. So, but yes, many things that Anna and I are on usually on my Gavin shows on Sunday nights and Legends on Wednesday nights. So, welcome and thank you, Anna and Greyhawk Mike Bridges.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Bridges. I am a comic artist. I am a blogger. Greyhawkery is my blog if you haven't seen it. And just an avid gamer. World of Greyhawk scholar. So that's why I'm here.
You were, yes, and missed because a lot of you've been gaming a lot on Wednesday nights, so we've sorely missed you. We filled in with some good guests, hosts like Malden, and some others, and Will, who's in the room. Remember, Dvorak's been on a lot too. So we got we've had a lot of other guests coming into the discussion on a regular basis.
Good to have some fresh blood, some new perspectives.
Yes.
Yeah.
So about 5 years ago, someone in the community named Pluffett Smedger said to us, "You guys are eventually going to run out of content. You have to start over again." Well, that hasn't happened yet, right?
I think the way he puts it is we're always scraping the bottom of the barrel.
But you're the one that comes up with most of the cool stuff that we scramble. Some weeks it's kind of obvious. We have a convention to talk about, or there's some upcoming special event of some sort. But times in between, we can do like deep dives into the most esoteric things possible.
And that's not one of those nights. This is not one of those.
No,
nights.
exactly. This is when we have to kind of be broad rather than go deep
Thank
into
goodness.
something. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, today's a broad day.
I was
not
a little
sure.
worried.
No,
right.
we're going to be fine on this one. So I'm making sure I'm trying to make sure we have a mic. Okay, it looks like we have mic settings. All right. See if someone online says if we have sound or no sound. We'll find out, I guess, sooner or later. So normally the routine on Legends and Lore is I'm so busy now with the new job I have and I'm traveling a lot more. Over the weekend we have our Gavin topic, and I'm like, we don't have a topic for Wednesday. Can you guys help? Can you help? Right? Every time in Discord, and then Mike goes, lists like 8 things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
gotta.
Yeah.
Pull
Make
stuff
sure
out
we
of
should
my-
list them because they
Yes.
are usually great to have it.
And then the next week he asked me the same question, and then I just scroll up the text thing, and like,
Exactly.
here they
Yep.
are.
Yep.
Thank you. We have
Yeah.
sound. Great.
All right.
So, topics are set so that from the community, a lot of ideas, a lot of what's going on maybe in the industry. We try to connect it to a show, or if we have an opportunity to get special guests on, like who just approached me? The Grand March Living Greyhawk people approached me here and said, "Oh, we haven't been on." And this was the founders of Legends. I was like, "Oh, cool! I didn't even realize you were here." And so, that one will be coming up.
I didn't know we hadn't done that.
Yeah. It was either. See, my brain's off. I'm not even sure if it was living. If it was Grand March, or if it was another place we hadn't had on yet. So, but that's what we tend to do. And then once in a blue moon, we'll bring in and go to a topic that's like
We have a
nostalgic.
series too that we
Series,
need to
yeah.
ask you guys about. We have your Greyhawk, so to speak. We've
Yes.
had people come on and talk about their own personal campaigns, and I'm sure there is like at least 10 or so awesome Greyhawk campaigns going on among you guys. So we would love to have you on the show and talk about your games and and what you created and how you run them and stuff like that too. So please reach out.
Yes,
Yeah.
in the background with Von Moak and Mike
Exactly, he was on and
We
talked
did
about
his
his
Niron campaign.
Yep, mhm.
So everyone goes, Niron's the most boring place in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing going on there?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot going on there.
Mhm.
And so,
Yep.
and a good thing is, on Twitch, even if you're like partnered, your video is only stored 90 days. I'm porting everything to a YouTube mirror, so everything's on YouTube. You can just check it out and look. I need to get more active on YouTube, but I've been using it just as a storage site for all of our content. So it's
So all our hiccups will be there
yeah,
forever.
yeah, all the hiccups and all the mistakes and all will be there forever. I'd love it to you reach out to us via Discord, or I'll give you my card with email. And you want to do a My Greyhawk episode. The thing I ask is that your campaign's run a couple years, right? And you may have something you want to bring to the
And
table. And
other ideas too. So yeah.
yes, absolutely. We'd love to have people on from the community talking about their experiences.
We've done this we usually do about 50 shows a year, and it's 2
Yeah.
hours a week. So that means that we need to fill them with something, and hopefully not dither too long or too deep, and repeat ourselves too much. But we try to keep a good track of what we have done, so we can go back and see at least so we haven't talked about it the last 2 years or something. So, but sometimes there's new things coming up, and there's some recurring themes that we should talk about like once a year and stuff. So yeah.
Yes, someone in Twitch just said something that I won't say. He's in the audience too. You could do 20 episodes on halflings alone. I don't think so.
Oh, that might be tough.
Yeah.
Have we done?
We've done halflings.
Yeah, we've done
We've done
halflings.
halflings.
Yeah.
We've done halflings.
The problem is we don't just do halflings. We do halflings
Hi,
and
Brandy.
gnomes and
Yeah.
Halflings and gnomes and half orcs and half
Yeah,
ogres
yeah.
and
Yeah.
and all sorts.
broad.
Yeah.
We keep it broad. So,
Yeah.
but once in a blue moon, I'll give you an example of a great one. Eric, remember when I got Rick Rose on? Malden did. Was that cool or what?
That was cool.
Yeah, that was so cool. We actually got Rick Rose on and talked about the Free City Gruff box set. That was an awesome one. It came out of the blue. So sometimes we get really lucky on a Wednesday night with content.
And I shock Jay at times when I come and say, "Oh, we should do religion. We should do politics or economics." And Jay like, "No, we can talk about that." And they turned out to be not too bad, those shows, when we did these kind of deep dive, we're called academics of Greyhawk. We've done economy, politics, we've done diplomacy, we've done demographics and stuff like that. So those are topics that I've loved to and pushed for, so to speak. And some of them have been better than others, but they haven't been a complete disaster, even when we've gone deep into world building topics, so to speak.
Yeah, world building topics tend to be theoretical, which is good,
exactly.
and it provokes thought, which is something that we're here to help with campaign planning. But we've had more and more requests for basic, which is a good sign, right? So where do I start? Mm-hmm. How do I start? Give me recommended, adventures to start. Another thing is, in addition, wars is a topic we don't want to cover.
We haven't gone too deep into rules in quite a bit.
Right.
We need to have some rule crunchy.
I feel that's
episodes.
more of a Gavin type thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because we talk about the Greyhawk setting.
Yeah.
It shouldn't
Right.
matter what game system
Exactly.
you use.
For the most part, it's very rules neutral,
Right.
or we don't talk about game crunch mechanics at all.
Yeah, Mike. So what topic are we gonna have next Wednesday?
Well, we have one more. We should probably talk about the city of Greyhawk at least
Yeah.
once more, but maybe not next week because I would be kind of empty in my brain.
It was
next
my
week, so
belief
yeah.
that just talking about the city of Greyhawk should have, kept us busy for a dozen episodes, right?
Oh yeah.
Right, we've only done two. We've done it's called the Grand Tour, and so last two, because I knew it was something that was in my wheelhouse, and we had the Great Living Greyhawk Journal Gazettes #2 and #5 that Eric had done with Malden.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm like, oh, I got this. I got the Falcon series. I got the box set. This will be easy. And then like 15 minutes before the show starts, the first one, Dennis goes, "Can I come on?"
Yep.
Right? And Dennis is normally never available. So Dennis gets on a couple weeks ago, and he just starts rolling in with stuff, and he found out all this information, and then he has this website filled with all. And if you all seen the Malden Greyhawk City map, you've seen both versions. There's two different versions. There's the original one that's in Living Greyhawk Journal Gazette 2, and then there's the updated version 2 that Anna really helped Malden with. So he really hasn't started putting that out yet. So he's got a whole new version. So he's working on that, which is really exciting.
And it's the most static website on the internet. It looks exactly like it did
Yeah.
30 or 28 years ago or something. So it's yeah.
So we were really lucky on that one on the first week, and then we kind of hodgepodge through the second week. And now we're topicless, but enough because my brain's mush going to be after this weekend. So we'll figure it out for Wednesday.
Yeah.
But suggestions from the audience always, as far as a topic you want to hear about. Like Discord is the best way to get a hold of us. I think, right, through Discord.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, probably the best way, or email. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Of course, what's old to us might be new to you when you suggest stuff.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And every time we redo a topic, we seem to come at it from a different direction, and it
Yeah.
feels like a different episode every time. It's
Yeah.
like Undead of Greyhawk, and then we do Undead of Greyhawk again. There's so many, so much undead that we could cover different ground.
Yeah.
Definitely on that. We want more interactivity as we as we get through all the Living Greyhawk groups. The My Greyhawks, I think, is a direction to go, because people love to hear about ideas and content, because we haven't gotten any content right for ages. So if you have content you think is new, unique, interesting for the rest of the community, that's what we want, because that's where we are, and we want to give you updates as to where we are in the entire community with some great stuff. Well, let's do some slides first. How about that? And then then I'll save these for last.
Yeah.
Eric, you give me a 5-10 one before you got to go, because I want to share this stuff with you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, you showed.
Yep. So go for it, Anna. What do you got? What do you
yeah,
got up?
I'm going to have a seminar tomorrow, 2 hours, when I will do a real deep dive into both how I do things and what I will work on. But these will be a couple of tidbits or sneak peeks for tomorrow, so to speak. So I'm going to just do a couple of. Here are some sneak peeks for things to come, so to speak. So you can kind of, these will go under Inspire, the role of maps, but they are kind of, so anyone with Greyhawk knowledge, which I know you all have in abundance, can start thinking of where that could be.
Good lord.
And then we have here are some of the upcoming stuff, so to speak. This is porta potty scale, so each pixel is 5 feet. So it's coming a little bit of upcoming stuff. Oops.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah, you just.
Did I just disconnect you?
No, it's okay. Well, yeah, we
Sorry.
put it back in again. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, and then we have some. Yeah, there's just some more. I can. The teaser is that these from the White Plume Mountain. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, and these are only work in progress. They're not even halfway finished yet. There's no trees and that straight raw renders. They're not even halfway baked yet, so to speak. So, a couple of teasers and this, and of course it's not like the flat picture. They are 3D as well. So and here we have a lot of you probably already downloaded and seen my Critball maps. This is the new standard of mapping. The other one map is like that technology is over 20 years old, so it's time to start mapping in a new way. So this is the new standard. So going forward with maps, so it's a little, there's like 4 pixels per 5 feet. Then I started to put some names and stuff on it. This is also geo-reference, so there is a white grid that is 1/4 of a mile. And then there's a black grid that you can see at the edges, where it actually has the grid lines and stuff on there as well. And you can see there's the measurement. And stuff.
We actually have a raid coming in on Twitch. You believe that?
Okay.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Raid.
Yeah. And of course, this is not a flat picture; it's a 3D as well. So here you have the isometric version of the same map, so to speak. It's a little bit lower resolution here than it is top down, but this is really good if you want to get a grip of what's going up and down and stuff. And these are also done in layers, so there will be a Photoshop file where you can actually go in and say, I don't want a building there, I want a road over here, I want some trees some other way. So they are layered, so you can keep the terrain and you can retexture it, you can change buildings to other places and stuff like that. So they will be customizable, and of course they will be Creative Commons, so you can download, use them, and tweak them and share them and stuff like that. So this is the new standard, and it's not only the city itself. This is the new standard, so you can go from the city to a larger area. So here you have the whole area. So for instance, it was an example to show a little bit what they look like. So we can follow this road here, and there's actually a little bridge that I painted in there. That you can see the bridge actually bridges the water. So there is a 3D done. So this area here is almost completely done. There's a little bit of texture work, but it's here you get vegetation and stuff like that. So you can put in buildings, and the buildings have height and stuff like that. So you can put in all sorts of stuff. So this is my new standard of mapping Greyhawk. Yep.
Are you putting on the roads the red dot every 10 miles?
Oh yes, there will be a GIS version of this. That will be that will be georeferenced with little dots on it that you can get. Yep. Yep. So
Yes,
and
it's
this
insane.
this area here is 15 miles across, 15 miles on the side, so to speak, and it's symmetric. So you can actually, instead of only having one, you can pile more and more on them. I didn't show that, but I will show that in the on my full seminar.
Sneak
You can
peek.
see that you can pile one after the other, so to speak. So they actually fit together, and I have a project for that. Yeah.
Are you using Esri software for this? Are you using?
I'm using QGIS. I have an Esri license as well, but I'm trying to use QGIS because I want you guys to be able to use open source software to tweak it. So I want to use open standards as much as possible, so you can take the raw data, make your own version of it, because I want to have a town here and a road there, but you might want to have something else at that spot, so to speak. So you should be able to take the raw data. There will be a couple of caveats for that, because all the raw data will take, that's gigabytes of stuff. So I will not be able to host it on a normal website, but I'm looking into cloud server or some solution to do that. So the end map will be available for everybody. The other one I might have to put behind a paywall, because I can't afford people downloading en masse, so to speak. So, but that's something for later. But somehow all the templates and all the layered Photoshop files and stuff will be available, so to speak. So yeah. So that's the idea. Yeah.
Amazing
and,
stuff.
Yeah, and of course heraldry. I've done for the convention. I've done a bunch of you have probably seen them. I've done about 70 new ones. So there's a few of them. So we can look at a couple of the compendium. Here's my take on the Flan heraldry. So we have some old. We have the Wind Dukes of Akka. And that symbol might look like just this random scribble, but it's actually from a little medallion that one of the old mummies or whatever it was that was sitting in the tomb had that sign on it. So I kind of took inspiration from that sign and redid it on a shield.
You mean from Dungeon Magazine?
Yes.
Whispering Karen
Yeah.
by, wasn't that Eric Bona's module?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
So there
awesome.
was a little
Yep.
medallion that had a scribble on it. So I kind of took an idea from that scribble and extracted that
Yep.
scribble onto a shield. So that's where the inspiration comes from.
How
The
about
Wind
that?
Dukes of Akka. Tostinka is just an idea. So Zoom comes in two varieties. The old Zoom that had before there was the became a desert and the scorpions and stuff. But they kept the red one, and then you have the later version with the stuff. And Uta, I just needed a primitive symbol that kind of looked impressive, so I took that one. We have Itar with the spear, and so that comes into it there. And then we have the Empire of Vecna. So I have the left one that is based on the early modules, and
Spider.
yeah, and also Mike they used purple, the hooded things in your comics, so that's why I took.
Really?
Yeah, so I took the purple from your
You
comics.
based some of your stuff
Yes.
off my
Yes.
shoddy
Yeah.
comic art.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So I took the color, because those early modules, the signs, they're only black and white. So you used
Okay.
purple for their hooded things. So I used purple
Okay.
on that one. And the other one is loosely based on the Wizard of the Coast version of Vecna. And I assume that symbology, I simply took the diamond shape and the goldy things and then I added things that is probably from the spidered throne. So I thought that was more kind of, so those two belong to there. And then we have a bunch of others. We have the Horn Knights that I did for Will, for his stuff. And then Cas, that's actually from his sword. You have at the base of the blade, there's a grinning figure. That's the one I based that on. And Caraptis, I just took a bunch of runes that look ugly. and then Order of the Storm, just whipped up a little bit of something. And then we have Count Dalvier. That's something that I was inspired by Bronze Age art that I've seen up in Sweden and Norway that they come in. And so it's just a mixture of these things, and I should not, since we are online there, I should not talk about what inspired that, but he's a lich, and he was one of these really horrible critters back in the day. Ringstone, Olenak, and Ringland Olenak and Ringstone are my creations. Ringland is in Shieldlands that I think was a Living Greyhawk creation, I think.
No, it's from Eyes the Evil.
Okay, so I use the evil. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So I just added heraldry for my campaign for them, so to speak, and they are based on the what I create these ring settlements of Shieldland that I took from Ringland from the name, and I've seen these ring settlements in old Europe from the Bronze Age and the Iron Age, so I thought that would be appropriate because there's a place called Ringland, so I just put that inspiration together, and then I based heraldry on it, so to speak, of it. So that's the plan, and then I have one more. I have the.
You're out of control, Anna.
Oh yes. Then we have the Origians.
Oh, cool.
These are cool. So first I have the old Origians. So I came up with the houses and Sternalia. Sternalia, that face comes from I think it's a Dragon or Dungeon magazine or something place. So I traced that off, and then you have House Atir with the wings, and then. House Crandon with its black and the two eyes and the stars, because they were kind of thinking outside the box, so to speak. And those are the eyes of Yohidi. That is their protective stuff in there. And then House Darman, they hold the riches of the sun inside the city walls. That was the symbology and the idea of them. And then House Garastet with the star that then later became the Erdi star, so to speak. That comes from House Garastet. And then we have House Rax with their symbol, House Naelex with the lion, and House Torcan with something I don't even know where it came from, but it looked cool, so I put it there.
I think House Naelex having a lion symbol is kind of pretentious, isn't it?
Exactly, but they had the ambition.
They really
were the
think a lot
they
of
wanted a
themselves.
powerful creature and so on, and they have the
Okay.
Naelex red already. So these are my idea of shields they had long before they became in early days of the noble career as noble houses, so to speak. And then we have some other stuff from early Erdi. We have the Kingdom of Erdi. That was the Garastet with the Foltus symbol in the middle. And then we have Medigia Bladelands. They come from the Medigi house. That is the early Hextorians, because they were the early Hextorians, so they have that one. And then Kingdom of Thaland. I simply assumed they were the first one to use crowns, so they put one on their shield. And then you have the Thelari Knights, the precursor of the Knight Protectors. So they have that green dragon on the yellow background, like the early Knight Protectors. And then the Solnor Compact that just picked up the Kingdom of Erdi and modernized that shield and used it. And then we have the Golden League and the Iron League. I realize now that the Golden League symbol is a little bit too high, so I'm probably going to lower it. It's a bit better version. Yeah.
I have a question about.
Yeah.
So my game is set in the Kingdom of Sundi, which
Yeah.
is part of the Iron League, and the symbol looks very similar to Medigia,
Yeah.
and the Sea of Medigia is not far, and not necessarily a friendly neighbor. So is there?
Oh, yeah,
Base
I-
that on some historical.
Well, the thing is, Medigia have the symbol that they have that the hippocampus symbol. So I took some of the colors from that and tweaked it and had the Medigi and who were the original Hextorians and I tried to just rip off that, so to speak, and use so there should be some history behind them, so to speak, a few connections here and there. Yeah. And then we have some other famous Oridians here at the bottom. So we have Loom the Mad with the machine. and Leuku with the I forgot. what
Mighty
it-
Servant.
Exactly, mighty servant. So you have the eyes from the Colossus there. Tourney with it being one of the early archmages and stuff. So he wanted a symbol, just his silhouette should be so on. And then we have Calrith, one of the animuses with the spear devoted to Thuriston. So we have Thuriston's spiral and the Erdi star in combination. It's kind of a weird. No one back in the day probably think, but that's what happens in heraldry. And then we have Duke Sephrin that has the black Erdi star on blue. And then Kahabros, that was one of the that I connected in my campaign to Tiamat. And because in my campaign, the actually hex stories and aspect of Tiamat. So you have Ferrante and Kahabros, they are from the Bastion of Faith.
Oh.
So they're taken from there. So I didn't have chance. Couldn't get to. I'm going to do Ferranti. That was the early Hirania symbol, but I didn't get any good ones, so I couldn't make it.
It's a lightning bolt, Anna.
Yeah, I know,
It's a
but
lightning-
I wanted to do something cool with it, and
Okay.
I couldn't. So it was, yeah, so I
Why
screwed
not?
up on that one. So, and then we have City of Reldevon. I did one. There's one for my campaign, and you can see an uncanny resemblance to the City of Greyhawk, and that's very intentional because I said that City of Reldevon is a much older city, maybe by 1,000 years or so older than City of Greyhawk. So they were, and they had the Crandon black, because that comes from Crandon, and the two eyes of Johidi at the bottom. And then later I said that then it turned into a symbol for that was like golden coins. But I have it that was a later thing. So the Crandons put the two dots symbolizing the eyes of Joidi earlier on, so to speak. And then the Erdi symbol for city, and then the Erdi star on top. And then the Greyhawkians say, oh, we added a bunch of them and say they're golden coins to symbolize wealth and so
Well,
on.
that's controversial.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Greyhawk copied Real Devon.
Exactly, they did so, and then they had the
Oh,
chains
boy.
on top and so on.
Darn
Because
it.
that's a story that
Yeah.
happens in heraldry in Europe and in other parts of the world that you rip off earlier ones and you
Okay.
take it.
Hey.
If it's an interesting theme, then others have used it. You use it to kind of.
Gary Julian in chat says Rel Devon probably 700 years old.
Oh, he's probably older than that.
7.
Yes, I would say that's
Okay.
probably older than that. Yeah, that's my guess.
We won't have an
Yeah.
argument here, Gary, during this.
Yeah.
During
That's my
the
guess,
GaryCon,
yeah.
so.
And then I realized one that was missing was Roland, so I added that, and they are also have a little bit of a connection to a tier, so they have and they also a city by the sea, so I put in made them into two birds, and then the Erdi star, and then Grandwood of Woodsman I did for Joe Block so I added that one in here too. And then Commander Austin, I think he deserves a shield, so I created one for him. But they have the Almorian one, and then you have one white bracket, meaning he carries Almor, so to speak, on his shoulders, so to speak. That's what's kind of
That's cool.
the idea behind it. So they are all these are all available on my website, both in this version, but also in aged version, because this is what they look like in their heyday. But so if I go in here, you could see some of these are. I'm going to go in here and you can do this. So they're also there's some other in here that I didn't put in there as well. So you can find them. There is like Halmarda the Cruel, for instance. I put him in there. I did him for my Shieldlands campaign, and so some of these, but some of them are available in here. For instance, you have Kahabros. This is the old version. So here is what they look like back in the day. But if your characters party happen to come on one today, they might find it in this state. So I have all the old ones from history. I have them aged and new ones as well. So
I thought the first one was the aged one.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
really aged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really aged. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of let's see if there's any special ones down here that I've seen. I think that was the gist of it this time. So here you have Loom the Mad,
Aged.
an aged version of the shield too. So you find something rusty laying in the corner, so to speak. So you can use it as a prop to show to your players.
So you can see
Yeah.
Anna's been busy, which is
Oh, yeah.
awesome,
Super
right?
busy.
Yeah, and there will be way more, not more heraldry, but there will be way more other stuff on my seminar too. So way more that I haven't shown here.
We're gonna do this early because Eric's only got a few more minutes. I'm gonna show what's going on out there publication-wise, okay? Every like 3
There you
minutes,
go.
every like 3 minutes,
Yep.
hit the, yeah, just move it slightly.
Yep.
Okay. It's been a busy year, so.
Yep.
Let's start with some of the magazines that are out. Can we turn this around? Is that got the middle for the most part?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
All right. So, here we go. So, Visions of Greyhawk. How many have looked at these? Oh my gosh, these are available for free.
Oh yeah, you have to. They are awesome. Yeah.
No, Visions of Greyhawk, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So this was Gary's, right? This is Gary's group.
Yeah,
Gary
Cannon Fire.
Balloons.
Yeah.
You want to look at Volume 2? I think I have an article on that one. No, I'm just kidding. I do, but there's two sets of new grimoires because we haven't had our journal.
Those would be on Cannon Fire.
You're on Cannon
Yep,
Fire.
mhm.
Download them right on Cannon Fire because we haven't had our journal article book in over a year. So they took it upon themselves to do a little bit more. So, because some people want to even move even further faster, there's another one. The Grey Grimoire is also out. So I'll throw this out here, and this is the first one on this one.
There
So
should
this
be
is
a
like
URL
Savage
in there,
Baron
too.
and Norker, right?
Yeah.
Savage Baron and Norker for the
Yep.
most part?
Yeah.
Yes, running with this one, to even pick the pace up even more. Now, this one in my hand, I haven't even read through it yet. This is brand new. This is the latest Grey
Oh,
Grimoire.
I haven't seen that
You
one
haven't
either.
seen it.
I
None of you
have.
Wow.
seen it.
I
It's
have.
not- I'm sorry, none of these can leave here, okay? I have something that can, but none of these can leave here. Here's the latest. What's that, you in that one?
That, I did the logo.
You did the logo for that one? Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That
There
looks
you go.
great. So please note, there's Earth Journal, and there's Visions of Greyhawk, and now there's Grey Grimoire. So it's a good time for the community. Lots of great stuff coming out. All right, it will be completely fair to everyone. There's better stuff. No, let me rephrase that. There's more. There's more.
Yep.
All right.
That's not all.
I want to say better. I want to say more. And we're gonna go from stuff that has been out for a bit to stuff that is a brand spanking new. How's that? All right. So this is Troy's adventure. It's cannonballs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The armor
Yeah.
polish. So was this Mike? Where is this Cannon Fire as well?
No.
No,
no.
you can download it on my website.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anna has this.
I hope I have it. If not,
Yeah,
then I
Anna
will
has
have
this
it very
on her
soon.
website,
Yeah,
so
because there are things that I
no
haven't
problem.
added yet.
That's an
They're all
adventure. That's an
free.
adventure.
Yeah,
It's all free.
yeah.
Now these are crazily impressive.
Yeah.
These are another project where someone is starting to develop beyond the area of the standard Flanders map. So this is called Beyond the Flanders Project. So there's two of these.
It's Troy Ellerman and a bunch of others.
Yes,
who
who have
yeah.
really pushed out this. This is the Gulf of Gyar.
So west of the Backlash lands.
Yeah.
What's the Backlash land? And this one is the domain of the despotic giant king, which is a little further.
Even farther
Even
west.
farther
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And then done in the spirit of the living
Yes.
Greyhawk gazetteer.
Yes. So, and please ask, now, everything you see here, you can get download for free. You can
Yeah.
get all of it.
Yeah.
Everything you're gonna see, with the exception of one thing, but can you pull that pile out, Anna?
Okay.
Behind you? Okay, now, let's continue. This is all brand new content. I'll do mine first because it's at least impressive. But if you want, you get a copy to take with you. You can get the whole pile. So, I have my Free City of Altamira, which I've worked on since 1987. You know, I can't publish it in Greyhawk.
There you go.
So I partnered with Troller Games. We're going to be kickstarting this. It's finally, this is the 20-page teaser sneak peek of it. This is a color copy on the inside. You guys will get a black and white one, but on the inside. But the cover art is in black, in color. And its maps of the city are on the inside and the outside are also in color. So this is mine. It's been moved to air, but it's in Greyhawk. and so what I will do is I'll put these here, and we'll give you out these in a second here. This I didn't even know about. Another Troy one.
Yeah, it says
I didn't even
underwater.
know about this one. The Ocean's Bounty, Part 1 of the Tides of Exploration Adventure Series. Brand new.
Yeah.
I haven't cracked this open yet
Yeah,
as well.
I haven't seen the
So-
content either. Yeah.
Start here on this one. Yes. The brand new Greyhawk content. All right, the Coup de Grace.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Coup de Grace.
Yeah, there
So,
you go.
last year, the Kafka Legacy Archive group put out LA1 and LA2. Here are 2 more Len Kafka adventures that were found that were run at Gen. It'll tell you on the front where they were run at, and then they're been put together in honor of Len. This first one, A Minor Threat. Let's see. This designed by Leonard Kafka, ran an 82 Gen Con, round 6 tournament play. All right, so LA3 here. All right. Lastly, The Gift, Leonard Kafka. This one was ran the same thing. Another new monster designed by Leonard Kafka, ran an A2 Gen Con round 6 tournament play. So these are both done by the community and have really, yeah. So please feel free to ask questions about all these. Just some, I want to say that the community is stepping it up. Really is stepping it up with content, and it looks they're very professionally done. Everything, so it's exciting. Along with an increase in blogging again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Tommy John Kelly and David Leonard have been hitting it hard,
They
right?
have been hitting it hard.
I'm not sure about that one. Mike, you throw out one every now and then now, right?
I have not done any this year, Jay.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. But yeah, you've done many in the past, over 1,000.
Yes,
So,
I think
thanks,
that
man.
work
Thank you
speaks for
very
itself.
much.
Bye, Eric.
Have fun. So, streaming wise,
A lot of streaming.
we've been trying to add some channels because we've had some that have dropped. You know, in particular, Blue Box, we've had a problem. So they only have one game, and that's on Sundays right now. Hopefully, John at Blue Box will be back one day in the future. But you know, so I'm live on Thursday nights, and then normally either Saturday mornings or Saturday evenings, like every other week, running games and running a lot of games with special players in the community. Right, Bird? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
future DM.
Mhm.
Courtney
Yeah.
took off down to the. Courtney went to the vendor hall, right? Vendor hall. Yeah, cool. So yes, note that I'm trying to really intertwine what we're doing out there with other communities now. So I've reached out into the video game streaming world, but there's so many people that want to play D&D, right? Tell us how we met. Hi.
Twitter messaged me.
That's it. That was it. That's right. That was it. Yes.
And I had actually, before you Twitter messaged me, I'd never really played D&D before, and I just started looking into it, and I was like, okay, let's try it. And now here we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just that easy.
So please note that, and there's people out there. This game is addictive. You know, well, we're all here, right?
Right.
Look at all most of us, old dudes, right? For the most part, not. I'm old, man. So there are people that want to play and want to learn, and they just don't know how to connect to someone, or just don't know, what community to join up. And that's just where I think, we have opportunities. We have real opportunities to do that. Plus, I get to teach them old school, right? Instead of 5e. So yeah, and that's fun. So please, I unfortunately have to have that's our reference copy. Have to have them back, but as maybe Mike and Anna go over something else. Who wants one of these permanently? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good, that's it. I want to see that because when the Kickstarter comes. Good. Yep. Hopefully I have enough here. Awesome. Thank you. Mike, take it away, man.
So anyone here actively running a Greyhawk campaign?
Oh, good. Lots of hands.
Nice,
That's awesome.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. Has anyone ever run something in the land of Jason?
You need
Adjacent?
Other side.
Okay.
It almost counts. Yeah.
Hey, close enough. I'll take it.
Yeah. You need to update your old guide. and stuff. Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Let's see.
Of course.
I'm trying to think how to jump off of that.
Yeah.
Is anyone using, like, man, now I'm drawing a blank.
No
Okay,
worries. Yeah.
so there's different editions of Greyhawk, I would say, like, you know, the gold box, and then From the Ashes, and Living Gazetteer. So does who here prefers like the old, like 576 CY original?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Fine.
Yeah. That's what I kind of prefer. Anyone like the second edition era, Carl Sargent Wars era?
See, there you go.
my
There you go.
Oh, a couple of
that-
fans.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
that's about even. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone just do Living Greyhawk era, like the 591, the last published era? Does anyone like take it all the way to the end?
I'm just in
Anna?
Need Fest 590.
Anna?
99, but I haven't
Do both?
used
Yeah.
that much of Living
Okay.
Greyhawk. A
All
little
right.
bit, yeah.
So there is a good spread.
I love your jacket. Looks awesome. Yeah.
Not exclusively, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
You
there it
played
is, I
in
see
Living
now.
Greyhawk, I assume.
Yeah.
I was a triad for divers.
Oh,
There
cool.
you
Nice.
go.
Oh,
We
my
need to
God.
have you on the show. Yes.
Yeah, they're all like
Nobody needs me on the show.
Oh,
They're-
yes.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Everyone
yes.
in Divers is evil, man. I mean, I can't believe the people, the triads we had on there and the stuff you guys did. Right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we really took the city
fun, though.
beyond what was originally, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the first POC for that. And we built
Okay.
it for
Yeah.
a couple
Wow.
years.
Yeah.
And, my friend Rob, who's no longer with us, was the other half of that.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Yeah. We should reach out to you and have Casey reach out to you and yeah, because we would love to have even more stories and stuff, because I've heard so much about Living Greyhawk and divers, so it would be awesome to have some of those stories on the show too. Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah. The world of Greyhawk seems to be running around 576, right? 585, and then it's 591.
591.
But
through
you're
Living
already
Greyhawk.
way ahead.
I'm
with
way
you.
ahead.
Yeah.
I'm way ahead.
You're speeding.
But that's because of 44 years of play.
Yeah.
So I want to ask this question. This is, how many of you at some point got a grab publication every day and goes, how the hell am I going to incorporate this in my campaign?
Yeah, all the time.
Right? You understand, right? So that challenge I've been going, and probably all of us who have been around, have gone on for decades.
Took
And
10 years for me to swallow the fact, or
Yeah.
20 years that,
Yeah.
that Carl Sargent killed off the Horn Society and stuff.
Yes.
20 years for me to figure out how the heck am I dealing with that. So now I'm moved up to Shield Lands because I felt like now I know how I want to deal with it. So
That's
yeah.
why I reboot my campaigns.
Okay.
Like
Oh, you
I already
start over
had
again.
Greyhawk Wars, and then when the Greyhawk Wars came along and was published, I was like, oh, I get to do it again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That goes
I
against
love
my nature.
Greyhawk
I
Wars.
can, if it happened, it happened. I can't go back again. So that's the
yeah.
that's the tough part. Yeah, and when someone gives you, but and also in the beginning, I felt like if it was in there, I needed to play it.
Yeah.
So then he was that was hard part. So I stayed away from it. Now I understand 20 years later, I can actually do my own spin on things. But it took a long time for me to get the courage to do it even at home. Now I'm putting my neck out there and say, well, I'm doing it this way and see if people like it or not. Sometimes I get kind of pushback, but that's good, so to speak. And a lot of times people like it, so it's good. Yeah.
Another question for everyone.
Yeah.
How many of you are worried that you're going to do something that's going to affect the canon that's published?
Not anymore.
Good. No, that's what I want to hear. That's the answer I wanted to hear. It's not anymore, right? Because we just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen at all. And so with, what's that say? Batteries running? Oh my God, is it disconnected?
No.
Yeah, it is, because it should be plugged in. It's not charging. Okay. Whew, thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
I didn't have it plugged in here to the power pack. Dumb of me.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thanks. So we've had this talk a lot of times on the show about canon, published source, and I think I think it's time to move on, right? Completely. And I think a lot of these publications are like, that's
They
the
are
proof.
moving on.
Yeah, we're moving
Yeah.
on. Moving on. We are going to, what I've suggested to everyone is respect the old lore and what you do, respect it, but it's a perspective. It may not be your character's perspective or another character in history's perspective. It may be just from more than canon, or maybe from someone else, or maybe it's written from Zaggy. It could be any number of, or maybe even I use, right? But that perspective is not necessarily the truth. So take it and, like Gary's always said, make Greyhawk your own. Yes, sir.
So I am a newbie.
You
So
okay?
I apologize to everybody.
Oh, no.
It's welcome.
This is great.
It's awesome.
So,
welcome.
so's Kristen.
Yeah.
But I grew up playing in the world of Greyhawk, and got back into playing in my 20s. And by then we were just in another group that was doing a lot of Forgotten Realms stuff, and I always wanted to go back, and now I'm going back. So I've read the Living Gazette here.
Yeah.
And I have the gold box, but what you just said is kind of, when everybody was like, not anymore, I was like, yes, because I'm like, well, what is canon? And so even though you're saying, hey, we've got to move on, for somebody who's new, what would be a great source of like canon?
Look, this is what we're going to do. We have all different opinions. We're each going to give you our own. So
Perfect.
Anna, go first.
For me, would be to start read the '83 box set, and then From the Ashes if you want to go really deep. Otherwise, skip that and read the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, and then get the Car Sergeants, those area source books, the Marklands, I Use the Evil, and then even the Undying. Once you read them, you get a good overview and a decent kind of, you understand all the big picture and reasonable amount of detail on each region, so to speak. And then you pick your area that you're interested in first and say, okay, I'm going to go to whatever part of it. Then you can kind of drill down there and see what modules, do some Google searches, ask on the community, do you have something, or simply come up with your own stuff for that, so to speak, and stay as true or not true as you feel like to the sources. I try to, it's like I want to understand what the rules are and then break them, so to speak. So when someone tells me that, oh, that's wrong, then I know, yeah, I know, and I don't like it. So that's the thing. But that's because I'm putting my neck out and ask for people to help me survive while I'm doing this, so to speak. So it's so make it your own, but and cherry pick. Because there are, and you can twist it in interesting ways. I'm doing that now with Horn Society and IUs and the other ones. I try to come up with what is the true story behind what we had before, so to speak, to pay an homage to it. So, and also don't go all over the place. Pick your area, run with it, and then when you're bored and your players are bored, then you move on to something else, and then cover it. Meaning I've done it for 30 years and I've covered like 3 spots on the map extensively. The rest I've never been to.
And I don't use the right side of the map.
Yeah. So, yeah. I've been there once.
So here's mine. I go back. I like the 80 glossography folio. Okay, I like that first. Get the 83 if you can, but the 80 is my favorite because it's just like core, right? Base. Greyhawk Adventures book.
Yep.
Okay, by unfortunately Jim Ward, right? Got a lot of great things. I developed an entire, with help from my players, an entire class from those spells, those named wizard spells. I have a Greyhawk Mage class, and guess who plays the Greyhawk Mage class in my campaign?
I got it. I know. Is it Ed?
It's Ed Greenwood. So yes, Ed Greenwood plays a Greyhawk Mage in my campaign. Imagine that. So yeah, that it's just such a and. There's so much development off of that book because Joe Block has converted those spells to 5e. Will's done a lot of work with wizards in 5e as well. So no matter what edition, you're going to find something for them. Third, my favorite publication of all time is the Free City Greyhawk box set. And I know Anna and I differ on the maps. Okay, the map is sparse, right? And Madeline corrected it, and I use Madeline's map now. But the stories inside, the factions, it shows you how to set up a city based in your Greyhawk. So you got 3-stage characters in there. You got adventuring parties. You got side quests. You got adventure cards, which are great, right? In that box set, that's the one for me. That's my favorite D&D publication of all time. Yes.
You said that box set is from,
It's the '89 World of Greyhawk city. It's a city box set, a Free City Rock box set. In fact, my Altamira, that's what I want to aspire my Greyhawk box set to be. Is that good? Yeah.
okay, so it's a Greyhawk City.
It's a Free City Rock box set, but it does a lot of surrounding lands. It shows you what's going on in the gnarly forest, in the northern wild coast, right? In the Cairn Hills. There's stuff that's developed all around in that box set too, right? And if you want to supplement that, From the Ashes box set has a lot more information of those areas surrounding. It almost does this. It's like an arc. It goes up the wild coast, Hardby, other side, Cairn Hill side, down to the Sea of Dust. Not Sea of Dust, Bright Desert.
Desert,
Duh. Okay,
yeah.
it covers that area in there too. So that would be like my fourth choice would be the From the Ashes box set. But Carl Sargent, in my opinion, killed off way too many characters, and there's a lot. Plus, all right, I want you all to be honest here, and please, it's okay. Who there's a fan of Philidor the Blue?
What?
Okay, 3. Philidor the Blue.
You dressed like Philidor the
Oh
Blue.
my
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Blue,
Yeah.
blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. So, well, yeah, but there's also another thing that drives me nuts in that is this isn't Middle Earth. Why the hell are elves going to Lendor Isle? I have no idea. Right? For an example, in that box set, because Len would. We know Anna and I know Len. I don't know. From having him on the show 40 times, we know Len, and Len would, when he wasn't a fan of something, he'd just say no, and he wouldn't say another word about it. So.
I've developed a theory behind that, and
Go for
a
it.
variant rule to it, and I discussed it with Carlos the other day, and it's has to do with I have it back in the day that there were kind of ice ages and warm periods, so the ocean was actually higher and lower. So Lendor Isles and the Spindrifts that were actually part of the mainland back previously, and it comes from that age that elves lived there, so to speak. So I tied it into it, and since an elven generation is like 500 years or so, it might only be 10 or 12 generations ago. So for elves, they want to kind of cling on to it, what was then hills and is now islands there, so to speak. So I try to make it that way, to tie the stories into to an ancient past, so to speak. Yeah. So I have when I started to do my Earth model, then I started analyzing it and came up with some cool results. I'm going to talk more about that on my seminar. And I'm just going to mention, when we talk about City of Greyhawk, I'm researching my version of City of
Good
Greyhawk
Lord.
coming up. Yeah.
Is there anything you don't do?
Lots of things that I should do that I don't do, but I try to do
Wow.
things that are, so it's coming. I can probably about a 3-year project. Yeah, but now I know how to do it.
Oh.
So now it's more like actually sitting down and do it. So it's a research phase for about a year, and then it will be kind of start mapping it out, and then start finalizing it, and so on. And I will base it on Gary's vision of the city from the Gord books, but then make sure that all the points of interest from the box set are in there as well, so to speak. So this image is from my crit wall map, so I just had to have a city background, and I have a bunch of others. So and this is, I have to be able, this is my very first city map, so you have to bear with me. They're going to get much better than this, and it's not even completely finished yet. So
Now, to go back to the original
Yep.
question, you're starting a new campaign, right? New to Greyhawk-ish, new-ish.
I was thinking of starting
Yeah.
Yeomanry.
Okay, great. So, to simplify things, World of Greyhawk box set, that'll have the maps you want for everything. And then, even if you're running in Yeomanry, you still want that City of Greyhawk box set. Because even if you're not going to run something in the City of Greyhawk, well, one, it also has a lot of good maps in it. Not just the city
Yep.
itself, but regional maps. But that book will inform you on how to run your own towns. Because not every town and city is detailed. But that book will give you the skeleton of how to run it. Laws and power groups and whatnot.
yeah.
So for me, okay, go ahead.
I can make a comment. I never worry about canon. Canon allows us
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Because if I say I use is a demigod, demon, half demon demigod, and you say, oh no, Ius is some dragon, well, we can't have a conversation. There's got to be some commonality. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's the commonalities to talk about stuff, because that's
Yeah.
what we like to do. Like,
Yeah.
talk about it. I mean, we're a Greyhawk seminar, not a Forgotten Realms one, which is, they're fun too, but they're different
Yeah.
worlds, and they have different
Yeah.
world does that, and
Yeah.
they talk.
And you're also pronouncing it correct.
That too.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yep.
I think the way you respect canon is you engage with it.
Yes.
That
Sure.
doesn't mean you have to agree or that's all
Yeah.
the same, but you say, okay, I'll take it seriously enough to respond
Yeah.
and think about it.
Yep.
And that
Great point.
is- and that's what it does. It allows
Yeah.
us to have those
Mhm.
conversations.
Yep. Good.
So, my suggestion always is first, once you start in the Army, great, but I still think a Hamlet start at some point needs to be done. Hamlet is
Yeah,
just
it's a
like
good
the
one.
ultimate sandbox town location. But you need to develop it beyond. If you want to go from Hamlet to the Moat House to Nolb to Temple, there's gaps, right?
Yeah.
You gotta develop, and that's the thing about being a DM. You have to develop it. Same thing if you're running the Slaver series. You can't just go module. They're like levels apart, right? So you need to, and that was I think the charm of back in the day. Instead of these adventure paths, I'm not trying to bash Eric or anything because they did one. Age of Worms was wonderful, right? But you need to be able to develop your own plot stories, subplots, or have a side quest off of them instead of just running through and running all those from start to finish. Throw in some things that no one's ever seen or heard before. A group of bandits hijack something, or you need to help a farmer because he's got like ant kegs in his fields. Just change it up. That's what you're supposed to do with Greyhawk.
You can invent your own Hamlet.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
take another area
Absolutely.
and invent your own little
Yeah.
starting village or starting point. And
That's what
Yeah.
I actually did.
That's great.
I got
Yeah.
my group into it. We did the
Yeah.
Temple Elementary, but instead of the Elder Elementary, I do a lot of reading that probably people in this room wrote, and I can get my first pronunciation check here. But I mean, Thurston,
Yeah.
Thurston.
the
Yeah.
god behind all that. So that's why I wanted to
that's great.
change it up now,
Yeah.
move it to yeomanry, and have that back plot or subplot.
Yeah.
So, for example, you starting in the Yeoman, let's give you some possibilities there. The entire, supposedly, and it's placed, and Malden has it done in its entirety on his site. The Night Below box set is there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right?
site,
The
yeah.
entire,
Yep.
and he's got it three-dimensionally set,
Yeah, I
all the
saw it.
levels down.
It's amazing.
So the thing I'm saying is utilize the community when you start somewhere. And that's why we're doing these My Greyhawks. I guarantee you someone has developed a place,
Yeah.
which
And
makes
then
it.
start blogging about it because you never
Yeah.
know where it might lead, so to speak. That's why I'm sitting here, because I started doing a map for my own Greyhawk campaign, and then the internet came around, so I started a website and put it there, and here we are, 25 years
Thanks,
later.
guys.
Yeah,
Of course.
I never realized that anyone more than maybe 10 people will be interested in it. So yeah, and then I needed a new career when I moved to California, like 11 something years ago, and started doing it full time, so I'd get a chance to finish it. And yeah, here we are. Yeah.
So Mike,
Yeah.
what are you looking forward to in 2024?
Oh man.
We know all the publications are coming out and new stuff that you or I haven't even looked at yet, right?
So new stuff.
Yeah, like what would you
in-
love to see this year?
Well, actually, I was reading. This is 5e. I run 5e. I keep up with Wizards of the Coast stuff sometimes. I think that window's closing for me, but I just read on my way up here to GaryCon. There's a new Infinite Staircase anthology thing coming out.
Yeah.
6 modules in this. Half of them are Greyhawk modules, adapted to 5e. Sajkanth, Lost Caverns of Sajkanth. I already forgot them.
Vecna is coming out.
Barrier Peaks.
Yeah, Barrier
And
Peaks,
what was the
yeah.
third one?
Vecna came out, or
Well,
maybe
I'm not
it's-
even talking about Vecna.
Okay.
This book has 3 adventures. Beyond the Crystal Cave,
Okay. Yeah.
which is in Sea Princes, one of my favorite.
Oh wow! There
areas.
you go. Yeah.
So half of these modules are kind of like Ghost of Saltmarsh. You know, it's a Greyhawk book. Damn it.
Yeah.
The other 3 modules of the 6 are just general AD&D modules from back in the day. So it's a Greyhawk book. I'm gonna buy it. For whatever reason, they don't want to admit it's it's Greyhawk. They won't put Greyhawk on the cover, but I'll still buy it because it's got Greyhawk content in it.
Yeah.
Adapted for me to use running my 5e game. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Now, Anna did mention Vecna. Yeah.
Yeah, there's-
Your mileage may vary on Vecna content, but this new Vecna module is coming out. I'm going to run it. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I know I'm not going to run it, but I want to have it as one of the many inputs for a future Vecna campaign, because I have I want to do a campaign that is Elven, and I want to go to Vale of the Mage, and I want to have like Dim Forest, the old Vecna stomping grounds. The city of Fleeth and the Rushmores where you have the old throne, and I want to tie that in together. I have some ideas of what I want to do and stuff. So I want to get the latest Vecna, read it, and take some. There might be some input to it, but I'm sure I'm not going to run it as is. But I want to have an Elven. I haven't run Elven campaign in 20 years, and I felt that area needed some interest. And also Vale of the Mage. I want to do something with it for my campaign, and I have some idea of Old Flan and Old Elven. Those Valley Elves, to me, speak of something old Flan and something that has survived, and so it's kind of something themed in that direction that I think is kind of interesting.
You say Valley Elves?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm thinking of
For sure.
them, old Flan culture and Valley Elves and Vecna, something that, because Vecna is old Flan, so to speak, back in the day. So I want to have something, and there is an interesting part of the Vecna story. That's Vecna's mother, that I think is really, really interesting part of it. I don't have the comic book, but I have the story from the comic book, thankfully. So it's kind of in. Yeah, you
Okay.
have that. Yeah.
So this is where canon diverges into just like obscurity.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like
Esoteric.
DD archaeology.
Yeah,
and you can
it was
find
a
little things that can
one-shot
inspire
comic
you. Yeah.
that I have,
Yeah.
but like 100 people I know don't have it.
I don't have it.
So does it have value if I'm the only one who knows about it?
To you it does.
Yeah.
It depends
Yeah.
on the notoriety versus the,
Yeah.
like, if you're gonna grok on something and enjoy it, it doesn't have to be spread to everybody. I mean, I
Yep.
grew up in
Yeah.
karate.
Yep.
I'll never make a living at it. I do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the few
Yep.
people that
Yep.
are geeks about it, like me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's why.
And that's the fun part. Develop a campaign that suits you and your game table and have fun, so to speak. But please blog about it, because I'm sure there is something there that I would love to read too and use in my games too. Yeah.
It better at least have value to you, because you will not always get a warm reception from outsiders, and that can really hurt
Yep.
if you have different expectations.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, I destroyed the world of Greyhawk.
There you go.
And basically,
Boom.
Tiamat was responsible for the destruction, but I want to run a post-apocalyptic Greyhawk game.
Oh,
based
cool.
on that. Like, what's the aftermath? What is it?
Might be a good thing to destroy it then.
See,
Yeah.
this is blowing my mind, because the world of Greyhawk is already post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
So it's post.
Post,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's and I haven't developed it further than that. Like, we ended the campaign, and they actually played the agents of Tiamat that were responsible for that. So we ran
Oh, wow.
an
Evil.
Wow.
campaign effectively, and
Nice.
went beautifully well because they were all unified under the same
Yeah.
banner. But yeah, I mean, that would go very contradictory to a lot of people's perceptions of what a traditional Greyhawk game would be.
Yeah, but it still sounds really, really cool. Yeah.
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 So if you guys have any thoughts on that,
That might be
feel
a
free
good
to send them my
topic.
way, 'cause I don't know where to
That's
take
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is an interesting.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So that may be, like I said, that may be a good topic. What if
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic Greyhawk?
Yeah, and why
Blow it all
not
up.
run a campaign to blow up the world, so to speak? Is that yeah? Because well, we all read Lord of the Rings, so it's kind of the standard fantasy trope, and I think all of us, at least I have run a campaign like if you don't succeed with this, the world will perish one way or the other, so to speak. It's such a standard fantasy thing that I think almost everybody, it's part of our journey as gamers to either play or run a campaign that has that theme in one way or the other. You have something that needs to be hidden away or destroyed or found or tweaked in some way, otherwise the world goes to hell, literally. And that I stay away from it, so to speak. I try to not run it and so on. But I understand it's irresistible, so I think everybody is sometimes. So it's wonderful to hear someone who actually did it, so to
Right.
speak.
The actual destruction
Yeah.
of the world.
Mhm.
Usually it's the
Yep.
saving.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm. Yep.
It was good to.
Please.
Very similar. Tiamat destroyed the world. Was the cause of the Greyhawk Wars secretly,
Okay.
Yeah.
and has turned it into a dragon and lizard man version of Planet of the Apes.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
Wow. It's so cool because I have in my campaign Hieronymus is Bahamut and Hextor is Tiamat. So I'm gearing up for it. So I might have to take your advice. Otherwise, my campaign will go to hell and Tiamat take over and ruins everything too. So yeah.
Boo Hieronymus.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
So, I had the honor of sitting down. I think I'm not sure if you were there with Andrew Scott Perry. After we found out about Jim Ward, and he and I were just hanging out in the club, talking for hours and hours on how Gary's Greyhawk and what was published in 1980 is not anywhere. Is not one and the same, right?
Yeah.
They were heavy into the Metamorphosis Alpha mix. That's where Barrier Peaks came about. And I know a lot of people hate that adventure.
Table flip.
Yes. But, he gave me verification. He said that is actually a landing pod off of the Starship Warden. And we'd always thought that, but he verified that was what was going on there. Just some other things that you think about. A lot of people are like, I don't want to have Barrier Peaks anywhere near my Greyhawk.
Keep your peanut butter out of my chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Hey, cool.
Yep.
I don't like
I'm
technology.
that way. Yeah.
I don't. So once in a blue moon, I'll drive around a little crazy because I allow antiquated cannons on ships, right? Well, they may blow up sometimes, and it may
But
may
we
not
have
work.
to put a place in the barrier
Yeah.
that keeps a town or something called Warden. I think that will be appropriate. So that was my thinking. So
Gary
because
Pauline just called. There's a message waiting for you, Jim.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, he hates it. He hates it. So I did run an episode on. Was it Legends or I think it was Legends or it wasn't Gavin. It was 10 things I hate about Greyhawk.
Oh yes, we had that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you all know, does anyone know my biggest bone of all time?
Thrummel.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we know
so
that.
No.
so how many here rescued Thrommel from Temple of Elemental Evil when they ran it? Oh my God, no one.
No, of course not.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You're the only one who bothered by that.
No,
The
and
rest
Dale,
of us,
and Dale. All right. So
That's a design.
We
problem.
waited, and in my campaign, we waited until it was taken to the Gibbering
Right.
Gate and hidden way up there somewhere, and then we tried to save him, but we didn't succeed.
So yeah, so all right, my head's not gonna explode. So then comes out Return to Temple of Elemental Evil.
You brought it up.
I know I brought it up, and then they got a wandering vampire Thrommel
Yeah.
wandering around inside there when it was an illusion. It was an illusion covering him in the original Temple of Elemental Evil. So how to go from illusion to him becoming a real vampire?
double
And it drove me
bluff.
freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Then I heard.
He's not a vampire. Oh, no, he really
Then I
is.
heard Living Greyhawk Furiundi had Vampire Thrommel take over the whole of Furiundi.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, that's on.
Is that? Do you know about that?
No.
No?
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay,
That-
good.
That
good.
was someone told
That
you
was
to
someone
scare
told
you.
me that. Well,
Someone
yeah.
told you
So,
to scare you,
but
Jay. Yeah.
so I had a 10 thing, but that was all in fun, right? That discussion. We all have the little pet peeves and bones. Phil Door's another one of mine. Just like why, it's just I didn't get it.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, and but no, I won't go there anymore. Just know that
Jay was not a fan of the Smurfs back in the day.
yeah, no, I was not. But there's so much great content though. It's just there's great content, and there's great content that's being developed now, right? By other, as you can see, stuff like that. I immediately go like I've been doing this thing on the low road, which is a little blip in like I think living Greyhawk, that we have multiple people. We have oh my god, the blogger. I just mentioned him.
Tommy Kelly?
Not Tommy Kelly, the other one.
David Leonard.
David Leonard
Leonard,
and
yeah.
and Rich Diolia have worked on with maps, and I love
Yep.
the feel of it. So like 80% of the adventures I've been doing, especially with Ed's group, is all about exploring that low road that runs all throughout all the Lort Mills, and that didn't exist, when Greyhawk first came out, and it was developed by just recently. Just wonderful stuff, and then you got great stuff. Like I'll give you another example. You go, there's a little reference in Greyhawk Adventures. You know all those stories, and they go, here's a legend in Greyhawk Adventures book, and they go, and there's only one paragraph about what it actually is. So here's one, the Twisted Forest in Pomarsh.
Marsh, yeah.
There are white roses all over the Twisted Forest, but no one knows why. So I ran an adventure there, and Les Reno, Oblivion Seeker, I think it's in that latest book, did an entire article on why there are white roses in the Twisted
That's what we
Forest.
do.
That's what we do. That's what the community does. Takes little blurbs. Varnafane, there's a story of the Varnafane in From the Ashes. It's a paragraph and a half. And I have 20 years of campaign history on the lost axis, dwarven axis of Varnafane. So yeah, we just
So if you do your yeomanry campaign and you got a lot of stuff that you've homegrown created, and like they say, and you put it out there, you might actually gain a following or someone want to collaborate with you.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Is
Yep.
there anything any of us can just jump in on and contribute to rather than trying to reinvent the wheel? And it would be good to
Yes.
just be a part of something, but not have to devote ourselves full
Yeah.
time to the stupid blog I go to.
Right.
Right, no.
If you like to edit Photoshop files, I will have
I
to,
have
to
I have
edit
an
roads
OCD.
and stuff like that.
I have a
C-
problem.
CD
I will sit there and work on it.
Yeah, CD
There it is.
editing and stuff like that. There will be plenty of that.
So-
that Greyhawk Vision today with magazines and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, both-
Articles.
The
and
magazine.
stuff.
Articles, small.
So if you have
They have to be long.
from a page
Like-
to a couple of
yeah.
pages, or like can be a magic item, a new monster, an NPC,
Could be
or like a
any
place like an
topic.
inn, or some other cool little shop that has an owner and a couple of paragraphs of esoteric little
Yeah.
material. That's golden.
Just about anything
Stuff like
you're
that.
interested
Yep.
There's a Discord for that. I don't
Mhm.
know the actual address.
Yes, we can always get
Yeah.
that. There's a Cannon Fire Discord.
And Facebook
That's a
groups
good place to
and all sorts
start.
of stuff, and put them on your own blog. It will be awesome.
We have a Greyhawk Events Discord because we do
Yeah.
have virtual Greyhawk Con every year. We've had it 4 years.
Yeah.
It's the first weekend in October, and it's not just a stream thing. We have streaming events all weekend that you can sign up for
Yeah.
and be in them. There's games being run by Michael. Right? How many games you run virtual Greyhawk Con last year? Yeah, you had 2. Will,
Yeah.
did you have any last year? I forgot.
I think I did.
Yeah.
I
So
think it's about, what was it, like 60, 80
we
events?
have
or something
between
like
60
that.
and 80
Yeah,
events that there's signups
yeah.
for.
And then probably about half of those, or 1/3 was streamed, and the rest were games that had
Yeah.
in Discord, Zoom, or something.
And that you can
Yeah.
find off the Greyhawk Events server for Discord.
Yeah.
Another place is just, I'm not trying to, well, maybe I am.
Okay.
Our my Twitch channel with the Legends and Lore, the most interactivity from
That's true.
the community is on the Legends and Lore show on Wednesday night and the Gavin shows on Sunday night. Gavin tends to be my campaign or rules, or I have special guests, or I'll have a crafter on.
The
but
giveaways.
giveaways all the time. Oh, I never set them up this time, so I'm sorry about that. I can't
Yeah.
do it now. But we've had plenty of giveaways. So see you, Josh. Josh
Yeah,
Pop.
he was in here
So,
to make sure we stay
get-
straight here. Yeah.
Get involved on the shows, and just
Yeah.
people start knowing the community, and then they're like, hey, I'm interested, or you want to play in a game. There's tons of games at the community. People are always looking for players. So watch this, Michael. Who's in your game that you DM?
I'm in there. Yeah.
Who else? Gary Holian,
One
who
of the
wrote
authors
Living
of-
Grok Journal book,
Yes.
plays in Michael's
Yep.
game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Every
It's been
week,
going
right?
on for years
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
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 So, and Gary's watching too.
It's been like a
Yeah.
road show across. Yeah.
Yeah, because Gary didn't have time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ever told me like that we'd be to where we are with people that are contributing. Eric Mona plays in my game. He's playing them tomorrow, in an official event for my campaign that we're streaming and playing. We had open signups for.
Yeah.
And then we're playing in a game on Saturday. Ed Studio group that Anna's in.
Yeah.
Tony Winslow Brill is in it. Eric Boyd's normally in it, but he can't be here. Eric Mengi from Living Greyhawk.
He's not.
He's not going to be here either, but he's part of the main group. So
Yeah.
it's amazing the community just found its way back after they lost each other in the Living Greyhawk era. Yeah. All right. What other? Go ahead, Mike. You were gonna say something.
It's never too late to get into the Greyhawk community. That's for sure. And like he said, watching Jay's shows is probably the best place to jump in, because then you get involved in the chatter going on during the show. And then next thing you know, you're just
And there will be
talking to them
links
like you've known these people your whole life. It's
There
crazy.
will be links to Discord groups and whatever, and soon you will be fully fledged.
And you find
in
out
the
who's
Greyhawk
interested in the same
community.
things you are about the game.
Okay. Watch. All right. Let's ask some questions. Will, how do we meet?
Twitch.
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 George, how do we meet? Twitch. Curtis.
Twitch.
Brett.
Twitter.
Twitter. Right? Twitter. So you got the idea.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
So yeah. Carlos, how do we meet?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And like Carla, another thing. There's a lot of other people that we haven't even mentioned, like Carlos Lysing and Carlos Mondragon's really a good friend and plays with him. Alan Growy. I mean, Alan's running games here. Alan's got Joe Manganiello and Vince Vaughn in his game, right? Think about that.
Yep.
And coming up. So Alan is another legend here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So there's so many other people that we aren't even mentioning that are just.
And Alan is still doing deep dives in the really old material.
Deep dives.
It's fantastic. So that's his speciality, and it's really cool too. And he still has Rob Kuntz cranking out
Yes.
stuff.
I've had Rob Kuntz on 3 times. I've had him on.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes,
Hopefully
3
there'll be
times,
more
3
times.
shows.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna say something, and my brain just shut right off.
Well,
so keep going.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone have a question?
Good. That's good.
Any comments?
Yeah. Ideas. More.
Ideas.
Yeah. Please.
We talked about the Save the World trophy. We all
Yeah.
go through it.
Yeah.
To me, the biggest attraction of Greyhawk is that it is in some ways a world that really supports the opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
That, you think of the big events in the world of Greyhawk, like the Greyhawk Wars. At a fundamental level, they're still regional affairs. Right?
Yep.
The stakes are, you could say, lower, but that also makes them more personal. Like, the Horn Society gets rolled.
Yeah.
The Shield lands get
Mhm.
conquered.
Yeah.
Devastation occurs on a human scale.
Yeah.
And you respond at a human scale.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that, I think, is one of the things that, to me, makes Greyhawk so enjoyable. That you can set these, sort of like Game of Thrones almost, right?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones has the world-ending aspect, like the White Walkers. But what makes it a compelling story are the smaller scale things.
Yeah.
And I think Greyhawk, possibly because it hasn't been touched too much over the years compared to, say, the poor Forgotten Realms, it seems, if you look at the Forgotten Realms timeline under like the recent 5e stuff, the world is ending every year.
Yeah.
Which just becomes kind of silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greyhawk. I was going to say Greyhawk is both manageable and has a deep history.
Right. And
And
you can have that epic scale
yeah.
if you
Mhm.
want, but
Yeah.
it also has, it has very small regional things. Like one thing that you could add that would add a lot of value and be a small thing to add would be some trade goods from a specific place.
Yep.
That many PCs love those kind of random things when they
Yeah.
stumble across.
Yeah. I created a Needfest menu for my Need festivities and posted online, and that was one of the things that I received way more positive feedback than I thought, so to speak. So I invented all these different spices and dishes from various parts that were put together for the royal menu for Needfest, so to speak. So that was that was a lot of fun. So a lot of little cool things like that, different types of alcohol and dishes and stuff like that. So that was invent things like that could be a lot of fun, and can be very useful if you share it with others, because if you want to come up with a pinch, that's the kind of creativity that you can riff off from others that could be really, really useful.
I remember it now.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about Alan Grohe, one of the best Legends of Lords shows we had in the last, 6 months, we did Castle Greyhawk,
Yes,
all the
that
different
was a good one.
versions, and
Yeah.
Alan went into it like crazy
yeah.
into the
Yeah.
depth and stuff I didn't even know. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was a wonderful show.
Yeah.
Because it was educational on all the different
Yeah.
options you had.
We
So yeah,
found out
check-
that the Gary's castle Greyhawk was actually east of the city, not west of
Right.
the city. That it ended up later. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that,
Huh.
7 miles east of the city was the original location, and then it somehow migrated to the other side of the river. So
We're
yeah.
digging in the wrong spot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I tend to think one thing that would be very interesting and helpful, maybe there is a body of work out there that touches on this, but prequel fiction or prequel
Yeah.
modules that
Yes.
going back to shortly before or after the Reign of Colorless fight,
Yeah.
things like that
Mhm.
could really because we have the dots already connected.
Yeah.
We just have to
Yeah.
go back
Mhm.
and flesh it, put
Yep.
the meat on the
Yep.
bone, so to speak.
Yep.
oh,
And I think
Yeah.
that's ripe for a lot of opportunity to really
Yeah.
contribute.
Yeah.
and share.
Carlos and me, we had a 2-hour-long conversation yesterday
Oh.
about that story. Yeah. We had some ideas and going back and
it's
forth.
great.
It was
It's a
a lot
great
of
idea.
fun. Yeah.
I'm going to comment on that in a
On
second.
that, yeah, I ran a Greyhawk campaign that started about 500 years.
Oh, cool.
before.
Oh,
Actually,
that's awesome. Yep.
Carrier Peaks, the ship was still active at the time.
Oh, wow,
Ooh,
cool.
wow.
It actually took some of they were working for the Order of Bahamut, and it actually took one of their teams up, and so that was one of the missions. You had to go rescue them off the ship, and you did cause them to crash. And
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Self-fulfilling.
They got suspended in
Wow. Yep.
like a magical field for 500 years.
Wow.
And they come out,
Yeah.
and things have changed.
That's
That's a
awesome.
great idea. If you want to
That's
mix science
different.
fiction and fantasy, that sounds like the perfect kind of really cool. Go back to that age and mix it up.
But that was probably a year in the past.
See, it's limitless. So, a thing for my channel, I've been tossing around instead of, because we have 27 different adventuring groups, right? And it gets a little confusing. We're thinking about doing some hateful words scenarios where they're playing parents of, especially elves, in scenarios, and just going back. I don't want to go back that as far, but I'll go back to 150 years. So and just a what if scenario on them and live streaming them and doing some things like that. So yeah, love the idea. Yes, Carlos.
Yeah, no, just a comment because when I got back, I had to pause my gaming for a long time, almost 20 years. But I always been playing with Greyhawk. When I got back, it took a bit of studying up to realize who was doing what, right? And today, for instance, anybody who's jumping in straight away, you're looking at a stratigraphy of contributions. I'm thinking, for example, back to Jason's Avoda.
Right.
Yeah.
Or to people who have somehow or other contributed to the kind of design that some of you guys are doing as well. And on one hand, you wouldn't necessarily know that there was somebody that had been doing stuff there, unless, I don't know, maybe you go and do deep archaeology in Cannon Fire or something.
Yeah.
How does that, I've found it all very useful. For instance, one of the things that Jason did that I've taken on was there's somewhere hidden in his website is this long list of Earth analog languages that he used for comparison with various different parts of Greyhawk. I haven't taken the exact list of his, but I did inspire myself on that, and it's made a huge difference in the way I role play.
Cool.
In Greyhawk, right? But I guess what I'm saying is there's so many traces here of people that, in some cases.
So, what I've found is in the Greyhawk community, from however far back you want to take it to present, your work tends to be more accepted if you somehow build upon someone else's work that came before.
Yep.
Just what you're describing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yep, definitely.
Because that means people know you did your research, and you could ignore what Jason Zavoda wrote, but the fact that you attribute something to him then gives your stuff more credibility. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and even state that was the opinion or the work of so and so, but I'm going to do it this way. That way you can show that you read and and understood previous work, and then this is my way of doing it, so to speak. And I love that because it's cherry picking. And same thing with my maps and content. Take what you want and discard the rest, so to speak. That's it. Yep, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to this year. Lots of things coming.
Yep.
Cover your ears, Anna. Greyhawk is all not lost. Okay? Take that as what you want. We're hopeful. Okay? That's all I'll say. Is that there's a possibility out there, a real nice possibility of something happening that involves people in this room and not just us. Right? Let's hope, and that's all I can
Okay.
say. Yeah. Looking at you. Yeah, so, yeah.
So if I pried, I mean, you gave us a teaser about, there's something going on with like, can
Yeah.
you extrapolate, is it a video game, is it a?
No.
What is the?
It involves the powers that be finally giving people the opportunity, and someone in particular whose last name's Gygax. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay? There. So, possibility. Not done. It may be dead end, but there's possibility. Okay?
So as an outsider, right? I'm played a lot of 3.5. I know Greyhawk was a world end. Then it was like, and you said before somehow, after like the living Greyhawk was a movement, and then again I'm coming in 10, 15, 20 years late, and it's like it was almost like it's just nothing then after that, and so.
Yes.
I guess my question is like, well, what is the prize? Is it like, oh, we don't want to because like Wizards of the Coast is going to have to give royalties to somebody for? Am I asking a big controversial question? You could just tell me.
No,
shut up,
I
but
think it was simply because it was done, so to speak. That was probably a good business idea to move on and do something else, so to speak. Meaning, Living Greyhawk had a good run, and so on. But eventually, the high and mighty realized that we should probably do something else, so to speak. And that has been Greyhawk history. It's been a few intense years of publication. First during Gary's reign at TSR, and then when he was ousted, it was cut, and Forgotten Realms came in. And then late in the era where Carl Sargent came, and all of a sudden they decided like 10 years later, oh, we're going to revive Greyhawk again. And then we got a whole slew of products and a new generation of it. From the actually was kind of rebooted and set, and after that it kind of disappeared, and for some years, not that many, it was a few years, and then Wizard of the Coast come in, and Roger Moore was tasked with to revive and start writing things because they were gearing up to Living Greyhawk and 3rd edition, and Greyhawk became the default setting, and we had like a flood of Greyhawk product again. And then after that, it was like probably decided it was done. They didn't want to redo the same product again. And then Greyhawk was kind of put on the sideline, and Forgotten Realms and others took over. So and now we've had a period of the content, meaning we have had a crunchy period. They focused on rules, classes, archetypes, and stuff. And the stories and the setting as we know it, that we play in a setting, that has been kind of put on the sideline. You play D&D. And whether you're playing Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms or Dragonlance, they didn't want to silo in, and that era might come to an end. We might come to an era where the settings and the stories in that way comes in the center, and the rules are no longer. Meaning things have changed back and forth. They can change again, and
I wouldn't hold my breath.
well, my speculation, and this is pure speculation, but I think there's some ideas, and I think there's 2 points to it. One is that previously in the history of tabletop role-playing games, when you need a lot of money, what you do, you launch a new edition, so people have to buy all the core books again. But now when you put the rules in digital tools, like VTTs and D&D Beyond, all of a sudden, if you change the rules, it's no longer a profit source. It's you have to hire a bunch of programmers to redo things instead. It becomes a cost. So the dynamic and the incentives to upgrade to a new edition disappears. And all of a sudden, you want to fill these digital tools with new cities and new places and so on. So that's one incentive. The other one, I think, is that at least I think they should realize that OGL debacle kind of showed that the rules, they no longer really own them. You can't copyright them, and now they're open. Anyone can make a 5e clone. Meaning I make my own house rules, and a lot of others are doing, Cobalt Press and whatever. Meaning that there will be 10 different flavors of 5e out. So the rules are no longer what, to me it seems like a dumb or kind of not the best way to base your business on something someone else can copy and make their own version of. And I think that is something that the high and mighty at the biggest publishing company in the tabletop role-playing game industry probably will see that, oh, we have a mountain of intellectual property that no one can touch and we can do things with. My guess is that someone will look into that trove and start using it soon. Yeah.
They started going with the Marvel map on that. That's why you have the multiverse, because they can go and pick and choose.
Yeah.
All the different ones. The Vecna adventure is it goes to all the different, all the IP settings.
Yep.
And they touch on each one a little bit of it, but they'll never go back and just really revisit one setting. Even Dragonlance, what they released, was just an adventure. It had, it wasn't an actual campaign.
Yeah.
Same
But
thing
we'll
with
see.
Eberron.
Yeah.
It took Baker doing his own stuff and releasing that through drive through the DM's Guild for you to get an actual 5th edition of Eberron. So they have no intentions of doing it.
Not right now, but my guess is that their times might change. Yeah, please.
They, at least, I don't remember when this announcement was, the last 3 weeks, where didn't somebody come forward and say, we have all this content that we can now hit a button and push it into put it into a blender. I wasn't gonna mention his name.
Yeah.
But
He might show up.
Yeah.
You gotta say it 3 times.
So now the content doesn't have to be world specific, because you can have every plot in every world, and we no longer need humans.
That's another thing.
Which
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
artists
We'll see.
in more than one genre. I mean, we're now learning that humans are no longer required, and it's frightening.
Yep.
It's terrifying.
We'll see.
It's also stupid
Well, yes.
on their part to start talking about that open. Like, I mean, how you've already infuriated your community with the OGL last year debacle, and now you say that. Now, who's going to work for him as an artist? And who's going to? I don't need them, right? For me, I've never needed them.
We're still coming to a point though where the product you produce now, it has to have sort of merit to make it in that place because of
Yep.
And we are seeing this is an opportunity for small publishers
Yes.
Anthony Hughes, perfect example.
Yes.
Talented beyond belief, and from my point of view, also really a good, strong advocate for how to play first edition and keep that alive.
Yep. Carlos as
People
well.
would just love to sweep it under the rug, but if you produce something good,
Yep.
it will sell.
Oh yeah.
100%. And there's opportunities out there for definitely for third-party publishers. I'm an example with Troller, right? So they're great people, and we got something I'm really excited about. I wish it was in the Greyhawk setting, but this is good enough. Yeah, Aird's good. So yeah. All right. So
Okay.
what we're gonna say in closing, Mike?
Well, it was a good time. I'm looking forward to next year's convention.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Stuff in between, right?
There's a lot going on at Greyhawk
Plenty in
Days
between,
there
yeah.
still.
Yeah.
So
Hope to see more of yous in the community, either on Discord or on the Twitch channel. Just hang out.
I'm gonna leave my cards up here. Anna, what would you like to say?
Yeah, I want to say thank you everyone for all the awesome support that makes it possible for me to sit and doodle in Greyhawk stuff as a paid hobby, so to speak, and it's fantastic. So thank you everyone who gave me the opportunity. And then I need to plug my own seminar.
Please.
It will be in this room tomorrow at 11 a.m. So then we have 2 hours, and I will go into and please come with questions and stuff too, because I will be kind of going mad if I have to listen to my own voice for 2 hours straight, so to speak. So yeah, so there will be more of a deep dive into how the sausage is made, so to speak, and
Yes.
also there will be more stuff coming on the next generation Greyhawk maps.
And lastly, it's
Yeah.
not all Greyhawk.
Exactly, we have the other big
4 o'clock. I know it. You may be in it. It is sold out, and there's like almost, I guess, 20 people on the wait list to
Yep.
get into Swinghurst.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
we have legendary maps of the realms in Greyhawk at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and we have some legendary maps.
Yes.
I will have with me a map that I think is probably the oldest Greyhawk map in existence.
Yes.
And it's older than the Folio, and it's older than, it's a copy of it, but it's was a copy made back then given to Linda Kafka.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that one, and a couple of others, original Greyhawk legendary
Is that the one that
maps.
was on the wall in the bar?
I'm not sure exactly where it came from, but it's that's the good thing of showing it, because there are others of you that know more of it than me.
Yeah, and
so
we find
will,
out information,
We will
believe it or
find
not.
some cool information about it. So please, yeah.
I know if you're not a realms person, that's okay. But Ed's got stuff from the '60s
Yeah.
that he made before there was even D&D.
And you will get
It's
a lot
crazy.
of Ed stories. Ed
Yes.
will talk about awesome stories for 2 hours, and we can,
Yeah, we'll
I
have
can
fun.
sit on the sideline and listen to all the wonderful
So
stuff.
that'll
yeah.
be the last seminar
Yeah.
we have for
Yeah.
for the con. So
Mhm.
we really appreciate you coming. I'm going to leave my cards. So if you want to get in touch, there's an email on here.
Yeah.
Best way to do it is this email. If you have Discord, look for Cannon Fire or Greyhawk events. They're the two servers to start off with, and then from there you can reach out to other servers.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of
And
other ones. And if
yeah,
you're-
my website is nabmeyer.com,
Yes.
or it's
shout-outs.
patreon.com/nabmeyer, so you can go there. And
Yep.
and all my Greyhawk stuff is Creative Commons, so it might
Yep.
be behind the paywall for a week or two or something like that for my patrons, but eventually, a little while, it will be on my website. So, and you can use it, share it, change it, and you don't need my permission, so you can use it anyway. And if you have a stream, a blog, or whatever, just put my maps, use my heraldry and all that. It's meant to be used, so to speak, and changed and stuff too. So yeah.
We appreciate your time.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah. Thank you. See you around the con. Whoops, I just dropped my cards all over the place.
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
Yeah.
See ya. Everyone online. Oh, no, I can't unbroadcast. I'm not going to raid because I don't know who's on. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.